Hello, my darling Fumi Nation. How are you? How are we? My name is Fumidesaluvold. For those of you that are stopping by for the very first time, you're so very welcome indeed. A couple of days ago, I got a comment from one of the Fumi Nation family members, and you had said, why wasn't I talking about the white girl who got killed by a black man? I had no idea what she was talking about, and I responded to her, who are you talking about? Can we have names? I was curious, so I went digging, and that was how I found out about Ireina Zarutska, a 23-year-old Ukrainian refugee who came to America with her brother and sister and her mother in search for a better life. She was on the Charlotte light rail, sitting down. She wore a cap and a t-shirt. She was on her phone, minding her business. As a matter of fact, when I saw her, it reminded me of me. When I used to work at a restaurant in California, it was a part-time job. And so I was always dolled up when I was working at the restaurant. But when I was going home, I would take my makeup off, I would put a cap over my head, and I would wear like a sweater so that I kind of did not draw any attention to myself. And without warning, because there were people in other seats, the man behind her took a knife out and stabbed her multiple times in the chest. You could see she put her legs up and there was blood spatter around him. Took his shirt off and acted normally to get off on the next stop. 23-year-old girl. She has a brother, she has a sister, her poor mother. Her poor, poor mother. You know, when you see police coming to your home, especially for mothers, there's a very bone-chilling feeling you get, especially when not all of your children are at home. You have that feeling that they're coming to come and tell you some bad news. Well, that bad news came in the form of Carlos Brown Jr. Carlos Brown Jr. has been arrested 14 times. Some will say he's a career criminal only because he's been arrested 14 times. From 2015 to 2020, he was in prison. He got out only for him to go back in after he had assaulted his sister. He told his sister that there was something inside of him that made him do the things that he did. And the news was kept quiet for literally 2 weeks before the mayor came out with a statement talking about how she was so proud of the citizens of Charlotte and how they had not reposted this horrific video, of which I agree, out of respect for Ireina's family. But not everybody felt that way. We had the Congressman Brad Knott. The mayor's refusal to condemn senseless, horrific and preventable violence is as telling as it is despicable. Violent criminals, regardless of who they are or what they look like, need to be in jail. This is the mayor's take. The video of the heartbreaking attack that took Ireina Zarutska's life is now public. I want to thank our media partners and community members who have chosen not to repost or share the footage out of respect for Ireina's family. This was a senseless and tragic loss. My prayers. I agree with her to an extent. Again, in the wake of what has happened to Charlie Kirk, it's really distressing to see that, but even more distressing to Charlie's family. The same thing to Ireina's family. But that does not mean that we have to shut away to the big elephant in the room here. Because I saw the video, and this man is mentally deranged. He needs help. I don't personally think he should be in prison or should have been in prison. I think that he needs mental help and assistance. He been needed it. But then again, healthcare, the justice system. Carlos was missed. He was overlooked even in the prisons. But of course, they don't care. He was overlooked in the prisons where if they kill each other, it doesn't matter. How he was released, I couldn't tell you. But I do want to know why. Because he should never have been released. To the public, to the unknown public, to be sitting beside somebody who is not mentally there, and then to lose your life. It could be you or me. It could be our children. And for that, there's no excuse. This is something that has to be addressed. And I'm so happy that I was curious enough to bring it up, because it's not about black or white. This is not about racism here. This is about a life that has been taken carelessly, and the system, the country to which Ireina and her family migrated to, let them down. They let them down. They imprisoned a man that had mental health issues. Apparently, his mother even turned him out on the street. He was homeless at the time he took this attack on Ireina. Do we know whether she had the help? Do we know whether she had the support? Whether she had the assistance? Where is the help and the assistance for people that need it, especially for hidden disabilities such as this? That's what I think. You can see the video. Does this man look normal to you? Is it normal for you to sit behind somebody that you didn't talk to, that you did not engage with, that you didn't even have words with, maybe in choosing of the seat or bumping into each other when you came onto the bus? None of that. She was sitting on her own, trying very much not to be noticed. She just wants to get to where she has to get to, and that's it. Whether she was going to work, going home, coming from work, we don't know. But we can tell that she was very much minding her business. And there were other passengers also on the bus. He got up and he stabbed her multiple times. I don't know what to tell you, my loves. I don't know what to tell you. I'm just so sad. I'm so sad. I'm just so disappointed in the kind of world that I'm living in, that my child is living in. I don't feel safe at all, anywhere, because it's happening everywhere. Stabbings, yes. If it's not guns, it's knives. And we're not taking care of those that need the mental health and assistance. We are not. This man is not well. Forget about him being black, because I saw that. Oh, there's something else I wanted to talk about. Let me bring this up. Somebody put up a GoFundMe. A GoFundMe has yanked sickening online fundraisers for the maniac accused of murdering the Ukrainian refugee on a North Carolina train after the Legal Defense Fund sparked widespread outrage. The fundraising pages suggested DeCarlos Brown Jr., a career criminal with no fewer than 14 arrests, is just as much a victim as Ireina Karutska, the woman seen being knifed dozens of times in a random attack. Helping the 35-year-old homeless suspect would also support the fight against racism and bias against our people, one fundraiser reckoned. Raising money to assist with legal fees to DeCarlos Dijon Brown Jr. Anything helps fight against the racism and bias against our people. Thank you for giving us a hand to push against the corrupt narrative, another fundraiser spewed. I disagree. This is not racism, unless I don't know the full story. This is not racism. This is not about black or white. This is about a man who, as far as I am concerned, with the 14 arrests, has mental health issues. And he was he was ignored in the system. He was overlooked in the system. Was he overlooked in the system because he was black? I don't know. But I do know that he had these issues most probably when he was in prison. And most probably he shouldn't have been in prison. I would like to know what are the crimes he committed. And if that be the case, then he should have been sectioned. But it's not about race. Unless they're saying that our black people do not get the medical help that they should because they are black, because they are overlooked. And so they want to have this GoFundMe, which was subsequently shut down, because they want to assist him in him getting better care. Because, to be honest, as we can all kind of sort of agree, if it's mental health, do you really think that we're helping this man, that we're going to reform him by taking him back to jail? Do you really think so? I don't think so. I don't think so. I think that there has been a great sentence being told here, that Ireina has lost her life, which is beyond tragic. I weep in my heart for her. But so has this man. He doesn't have a life. I don't even think he's aware of what he has done. So how can you punish and reform somebody who's unaware of who they are, where they are, and what they have done? So how do we reform them? How do they become better citizens? This man will never see the light of day amongst citizens, amongst the civilized. I do agree, but I think he should be given health care. This is horrible. It's horrible for everyone. It is absolutely horrible for everyone. Most especially for Ireina and her family. She deserved her life. She deserved to live her life. And it was taken away from her because the system failed. Because De Carlos should never have been released. And if he was released right into the mental health ward, that's where he should have been. It's just sad. It's just sad. It's just sad. Well, you can't even take public transport and be safe. What is safe these days? You don't even know. I was pregnant with Adrian. It was my last trimester. And for those of you that know what the last trimester is, it's intense. I couldn't sleep properly. I couldn't eat. I was waddling all over the place. So I went for a walk. And making my way back home, I just got so tired. So I decided to take the bus. Conveniently, because I sat at the bus stop just to catch my breath. And so when the bus, rolled up, I thought to myself, Fumi, take it home. And I was sitting in front, just by the driver. And a man came onto the bus, as other passengers do. And as the bus driver had left one stop and we were going to the next, he stood up and he announced, I have a knife. And he opened his jacket and he had knives. I wet myself. Well, I wet myself a lot during that time because I was pregnant. I couldn't hold my bladder because Adrian was sitting on it. And I was very calm. I thought that I would scream and I would shout, but when things happened like this, you would be surprised at how almost as if the life is taken out of you. I barely moved, but I could see the pool of water I was making. And I looked at the driver and I said to myself, I'm about to give birth to my first child. Father, up above, please let me get off this bus. And the driver slowed down ever so gallantly and opened the doors, and I slowly got off. I didn't look at him. I'm talking about the man that had the knives. I just slowly got off. Conveniently, I was just by the door. And everybody kind of got off. Because when I came out, I felt safe. There were other people there, and, you know, some of the other people started crying. And it was the bus driver that was left on the bus. And for whatever reason, us, the passengers that were on it, we just kind of felt as if we couldn't just leave the driver there. All this time, the man with the knives just stood in the middle of the bus with his coat open. Here in England, very close to Hammersmith, we were coming from Chiswick, and the police came. They went in, they took him, and they carried him out. They took the jacket off of him and they put him in the car. I have not told this story before, and because of Ireina, I remembered it today. And it's another reason why I'm wearing black, out of respect for her, because she was so young and she deserved to be amongst the living, to live her life, to have gotten married, to have had children, to be a grandmother, to live in her old age. And it has destroyed an entire family that will never ever be the same again, because her mother is there regretting ever having coming to the United States. And for that, the justice system has to take full accountability. You did not protect this young girl. I also want to take the time that you should be patient with me, because as much as you think I know everything, I don't. I don't know everything. I film every day for you. I edit my own content. I have a young son of whom I drop off and pick up at school. So there's a lot going on. If I miss a story, just let me know and say, Fumi, did you hear of? And please, when you do, be specific and add names. Okay? Having said all of that, thank you so very much for bringing this story to light. It is my channel, it's your show, and the platform is big enough now where we have to bring all kinds of topics, current affairs, pop culture to light, because I believe in justice and I believe in what is fair and what is right. Don't forget to like, to subscribe, hit the notification button, and I will see you sooner than later. All of my love.